Okay, so apparently I'm still quiet, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, when I was listening to the stream, I think I'm a bit louder than you still.
Yeah, I
Can
can't
you
turn
just
myself up, but I can turn flight down more.
turn me down?
I did.
Okay. I wonder if I can myself down.
I'm really not sure why my mic is so quiet on OBS, because it seems fine on like TeamSpeak and Discord and everything.
It sounds quite good to me, but it's quite so loud on the stream.
Yeah, so I've turned you down. But anyway, here we are in game 2 of Mothump versus Nagus in the Aussie Open. And we've got a Goth versus Frank fight on Arena. Nagus in the orange on the right, choosing... Oh no, sorry. Mothump on the right in orange, choosing Goths. And Nagus, or GrandNagus, in the left in red, choosing Franks. That is better? Okay, that's good.
Because I wasn't talking, that's why it's better.
Do I have the Kiwi flags? I didn't actually look at the flags, I just totally thought I put Aussie flags in earlier. Let me just quickly change that. Yeah, I do indeed have the New Zealand flag now that I look.
So I think the first issue to talk about, which is quite important, is the colours. I think they both choose colours which aren't brilliant. My personal opinion, I think red's a little bit better than orange.
You agree that? I have to agree that red is a bit better than orange, so I'm 100% rooting for Nagus, as he's choosing the better colour.
Sounds like a confirmed victory. We might as well go to the next game.
Yeah, sound admin victory for Nagus. Do you want to let him know so we can move on? Or?
Yeah. Well, I guess we must have a look at their maps, because more minor issue might be important.
It's not as important as the colour, but we should still look, I guess.
Do you want to go through it, or do you want me to start talking about it?
You can.
Yeah. Well, Nagus has got his main gold forward and fairly close to the walls, which could be a bit of an issue. But he does have both his stones in the back, and even 2 golds further back, which I think makes this map fairly decent.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, I kind of like his map.
Lumber cap placement. He should have got it in the corner.
Oh yeah, that is kind of gross. Yeah, that is a gross lumber camp placement. Don't know what he was thinking.
Being Frank's definitely nice to have a stone in the back.
Yeah, for sure.
Mothump's base, his main gold's pretty good. That's right in the back.
Down here.
And he's also got 2 golds in the back as well.
Yeah. So both with an extra gold in their back area. So that's nice for a balance perspective.
Meanwhile, Mothump's main stone is not brilliant. It's pretty close to the walls. So as Goths, you're definitely going to, most likely going to want a castle at some stage.
Yeah, at least one.
Just to get Huskars in case you start facing hand cannons or something from a Frank. I don't think it's as important if you're facing Franks as a civilization, because you might want different units rather than Huskars, but it would still be useful.
Yeah, well, isn't there a tech in the castle which makes barracks units train faster?
Yeah, you're right. That's actually quite an important upgrade as well.
Yeah, so I think if he's going to go Halbs, that would be a useful upgrade. He does have his secondary stone outside his wall, as well as his dare, so that really doesn't help his stone case. And his last gold also outside the wall on the left.
Nice. Nagus's dare is on the inside as well. I didn't notice that. So I think overall, nice. I guess we could say Nagus's map's a little bit better.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer to have Nagus's map.
His gold's a little bit worse, but his stone's better, and he's got deer. Not too bad though. I think fairly even overall.
Yeah, it's for for arena, this is actually quite an even map. Relics aside, as like 4 of
Always
them
forget them.
are right next to Nagus's wall.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Definitely Nagus favored them, but
Yeah.
bad. Where's the last relic?
There's 3. Oh, you can see 4 of the relics on one screen, in the top middle, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
there's one a bit further down next to Nagus's wall.
Alright, you can't see one of them on the mini-map because it's
No,
right
you
next to
can't.
the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the part where we just go AFK for 5-10 minutes while
We
they
can
do.
just try and discuss the strategy, and we would expect them to do a bit as well, I guess.
No, I guess we could do that.
If you remember, people remember or were watching the Byzantine versus Mufasa games yesterday, they will remember that Byzantine, chose the Franks,
Yeah, he
and he
did.
had a very aggressive castle rush with, castles, as you would assume.
Yeah, and
So,
managed to beat the Turks as Franks. That was quite nice, quite
yeah, so
impressive as well.
we could expect a similar strategy by Nagus. He might also consider just booming with a defensive castle. Those are probably your 2 main options as Franks. Or you could try to Peter bust with the Knights.
Yeah, I think like I said last night in the Byzantine versus Mufasa games, I wouldn't want to go late game against the Civ that the Franks are versing, because Franks versus Goths, if I was the Franks, I wouldn't really want to go late game. And yeah. So I'm kind of hoping to see from Nagus, since I'm biased and he's the red color. I'm hoping to see him go aggressive in castle, and
He hasn't actually taken any stone yet, though, so he might not be considering that.
good point.
He is Frank, so he could take stone a bit later and still be alright, but
Yeah,
unsafe.
he could. Or he could market for it.
Meanwhile, Morthump is taking stone, so the build I'd expect out of him is 3 TC with some villages on stone, so he can get a defensive castle if he needs it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a quite traditional Goth build, and then you can go into either late castle Haskell push after you get Anarchy, or you can just go to Imperial and start doing army from there. I'm not sure what army would be best in this matchup. Maybe Power plus Gunpowder.
Yeah, I guess.
Whereas personally, I think Franks. I'd actually prefer them late game while you still have gold. Because I think throwing X can do pretty well with Gothic infantry, and hand cannons aren't bad either. Paladin, of course, can be an option,
Yeah.
but Goths do get hand cannons themselves, so
yeah, exactly.
not too bad. But I think it's fairly even.
Depending on the
certainly
way.
once.
Depending on the
Yeah,
way
go
things
ahead.
go, we could end up just seeing a gunpowder war. But
Yeah,
I don't think that's likely. But it is possible.
Huskarls also, they can do well against hand cannons if you catch them out, but if you're really if you're careful with your hand cannons,
Okay, so stables from GrandNagus. So potentially looking to go do some aggression once he's up to castle.
probably expect knights. Not high. Maybe knights plus forward siege might be an option.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. I would have preferred. I would have preferred to see Byzantine strat from last night with the castle petard knights.
I think it's quite a risky strategy, but
It is. It is.
He's actually making scout, which
Yeah.
is sometimes somewhat interesting. I wouldn't really expect scouts as a good option against Goths, because You wouldn't really. You might maybe one monastery the Goths could go for, but you wouldn't really expect him to commit very heavy to them. So he's probably just wants to get the map control and
Yeah.
sure.
I think he'd probably rather be making knights actually, but he's not in castle yet.
You know, Motham committing very hard to stone, so he's not doing the build I was predicting. He's gonna look for quite an early castle, and he's probably gonna try attack with a smaller group of Huskarls, but a bit earlier. So maybe 10 Huskarls with 2 Petards or something like that. Probably not gonna look for. Oh, he might do extra TCs actually. He doesn't quite have his highest stone count as I would think he would have. He must have got the vills on stone quite late.
Yeah, he must have.
So he's dropping 1 TC.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah.
Perhaps he's going to do a 2 TC and then a slightly faster castle.
Yeah, that's
I know
definitely
Hank likes that build, so he might be doing for that sort of style.
Is he a Hank fan? Do you know?
I don't know.
Is anyone? No offense, Hank, if you're watching. I'm just curious.
I mean, I'm not saying Hank's the first person to ever do that. It's just the person I face who does this build. Personally, I prefer 3TC, but it does make you a little bit slower, which sometimes it's not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you should make a decision based on scouting.
Hello.
And he's not going to have much scouting soon. He's going to lose a scout.
Yeah. Monastery plus stable for Nagus, so it does appear he just wants to get these relics.
Yep. So Nagus looking at a later game. Or a late game scenario here, I think. Which
getting 2 TCs up now. 2 extra, I should say.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of this from Nagus, just because I wouldn't want to face the Goth spam later. This was pick civs, but hidden civs.
Yeah, and this is Nagus's home map, which is Arena.
Yep.
Oh, pretty obvious it's Arena. Personally, this is my opinion, so people might disagree with it, but I think committing quite heavily to getting relics, as in going scouts and then monks, especially when you're not against the monks of the opponent, it can be. I don't quite like it so much because it means you're gonna set your early game economy quite far behind as you're booming. So you do have the relics for late game, which is positive, but it means you're gonna be further back until the late game comes around.
Yeah, it makes you a lot more vulnerable early on.
So Mothumps, he's getting his castle a bit earlier than I might expect. So and he's not going to go for barracks. Instead, he's just going to create Huskarls from his castle.
Interesting.
His economy isn't the strongest. Just try and do this at the moment. 10 farms, not even farms now. Sorry. That's
only two
not.
TCs.
Yeah, that's only enough to support the TCs and not enough to support Huskar production as well. So he's had a little bit of idle time for his TCs in order to get his military out.
Nagus actually in a lead for villager count, so those 3 TCs paying off, I guess. At the moment, at least.
One thing which is really helpful for them, Mothump though, is Nagus's wall is already open, so he might not actually need to make petards in order to get inside Nagus's space.
Nagus choosing to delete a section of wall to let his monks out.
I think we can confirm that Nagus is a spec cheater though, because here he is building that wall up.
Yeah. 100% spec cheat. Admin loss. I definitely have the authority to say that.
No, the only reason we can forgive him is because he's got the better colour.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't red, I'd be messaging Robo right now. Oh, Siege Workshop going out for my thumb.
Interesting. Maybe you want some rams to help try to take out TCs or the buildings.
Maybe. He hasn't created any petards though.
The positive things I could say for Nagus at the moment is he's got a slightly better economy. He's got a stable up, so he could create knights if Huskarls start pressuring him.
Yeah.
And the monastery as well, so he's got some monks. He's got the 5 relics, that's going to really help him for late game. And he's starting to take stones, so you could expect a defensive castle at some point if he requires it. Or even an offensive castle later on. Quite a late wheelbarrow from both players. 24-minute wheelbarrow.
Yeah, actually,
probably
quite interesting they're getting it at the same time though.
Yeah. Probably want to be getting handcart around this time. But wheelbarrow kind of want to aim for about 40 villages, probably a bit earlier even, because you're going to have extra TCs working as well.
Right. 4th TC going up for Nagus, so he's really wanting to boom this big.
Yeah. Considering how much he's investing into economy at the moment, I think paladins are probably on the cards for later.
Yeah, I think so. But it might not
army
be...
composition. Oh, yeah, you go.
It might not be too good for him now, since it's looking like Muthump's getting ready to go and attack now. With mangonels and huskarls. Why no petards? No one knows, but...
You actually have a look. You might see his plan if you look at the top left. You can see his stone amount. Maybe he's planning on getting a fort castle to break through the walls. Or even, I think it might even be more effective if he petards busts and then gets a castle right in Nagus's walls, like against his TC and main gold.
Another siege workshop? Alright.
It's like he's going to use mangonels instead of petards to get through the wall.
I disagree with that. Well, I agree it looks like that, but I disagree with that decision.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I think mangonels has the advantage that you can push a bit and better later, like once you get through the walls, but with huskarls, you can probably just raid rather than go for TCs as such.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can even take out TCs with huskarls once you got a bit of upgrades, or a bit of mass, rather.
An offensive castle coming up from Nagus, so that's definitely going to help protect his economy. Yeah. At this stage, I'm thinking his late game army composition is probably going to be Paladin plus Throwing Axeman.
Oh, yeah.
Although, saying that, he's getting the meta arms upgrade, so maybe he's going to think about going to Champion.
Which, I can understand that versus Goth. But
yeah.
Actually,
I think Throwing Axeman are better, but you have to have the castles in order to get the production. I think he's a little bit worried that he might get overwhelmed if he doesn't have the units out.
Interesting how Mothump's actually revealed to Nagus that he's putting up a castle because the mangonels are directly next to it while attacking the wall.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but
some
Nagus...
very defensive walls coming up from Nagus, so he's obviously a little bit worried that Mothump could do some damage here. He's unlike how spectators, so you can't see the amount of army that Mothump has, which isn't a lot for this stage.
Yeah, and he does only have +2 defense on the huskarls.
Definitely better be safe than sorry.
Yeah, but then at the same time, what if Mothump was actually just putting on a bit of pressure, hoping he would overreact? Like, he can't know for sure.
That is true.
Market going up. And Nagus actually on the way up to Imperial Age.
Meanwhile, Mothump's getting Anarchy, so he's committing pretty hard to the castle push. I don't think it's going to work out because of the defensive castle of Nagus.
Yeah. Although if he doesn't have murder holes, he could take the castle down.
Oh,
Nagus
if it wasn't
taking
for the
advance.
throwing axeman OP unit, please nerf.
I really like throwing axemen. Please buff.
I like them as well. Good unit. Looking at the farm count, Nagus is on 32, and Mothump's also on 32, so exactly the same number of farms.
Interesting.
Nagus floating a little bit of wood. He could maybe consider getting a few more farms up at the back.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Oh, Mothamp gonna mangonel his own Huskars. Funny you say that, Fletch. He's got rams.
Angus is making a bit of everything, actually. He's got knights, he's got long swords, and he's got a few throwing axemen, so... Be curious what army composition he's going to go into late game, or if he's going to try to go into everything. Trebuchet is coming out. That's very important to try to take out the castle.
Yeah, I think
Front.
with these trips, he should be able to push everything back pretty easily.
Two-handed swordsman coming in, so... Champion line looks like it's going to be the choice for Nagus.
Yeah, kind of weird picking Franks then going into champion, but he is just first pure husks, so I mean that can't work.
There are a lot of Huskars moving in here right now, and
Yeah,
these long swords don't have any upgrades apart from fletching at the moment, so he
Fletch-
could be in a bit of trouble.
fletching for the longswords.
Yeah. Well, they're just jealous of the archers, so they want to have fletching as well.
Yeah, they've got to put fletching on their sword pommels. Two-handed swords coming in just as Nagus takes the engagement.
Yeah, it looks like the Huskars aren't going to get a good fight here.
Well, no, they're kind of running around trying to get monks instead.
But Mothump being a goth player and then being barbarians, they're obviously wanting to take out the holy places of the Franks, so
Yeah, I mean,
that's why he's targeting that monastery. It may not look like a victory in terms of military, but in terms of morale, the Franks are probably terrified now because
Exactly.
their church has gone down.
it's a religious victory for the Goths there.
And the demoralized swordsman actually looks like they're actually going to lose this fight, and I might have put it a bit too early. And it's before the champion upgrade's going to get in as well.
Trebuchet popping out of the castle and dying immediately. That's
The
expensive.
Huskars are actually stronger than the two-handed swordsman at the moment because of the blacksmith upgrades.
Ah, yes. True.
I mean, Nagus might want to consider making some throwing axemen and putting them behind the castle. But easily deal with the Huskars which are currently attacking it.
He did have 4, but they must have died. I don't see them.
Because, I mean, that's one of the really strong things about throwing axemen. They do melee damage and they can do it from range, so
Yeah.
really strong against the Huskars.
Yeah,
And
I really
I
like
think-
doing that. Putting them behind the
I think we
castle.
can really confirm, if it wasn't confirmed before, he's definitely a spectator. I mean, come on, he's making throwing axemen right now.
Oh my gosh. Nagus, get out of my stream.
Although, maybe not, because he's garrisoning them in the town centre, so...
Well, he does want to keep them safe.
If only town centres could shoot axes when they had axemen in them. Now that would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome. This castle might go down here. He needs to commit more villages to repairing it if he wants to keep it up.
And the army counts greatly in favour of Orange. Mothump. That's the words I can speak.
Yeah.
So if he actually gets in here, he could cause some serious damage to the red player.
Nagus just ticking into Cavalier, but I think it would have been a much better idea for him to actually get some upgrades on his champions, since he's already ticked into champion. And he only
yeah, you
has
already have
4
a-
knights.
Solid game plan of what army you want to go into an Imperial and stick with that. So he should have even gone Paladin, Champion, or Throwing Axeman. Instead he made a little bit of each and that didn't really pay off for him so far.
No, I imagine he's a little bit panicked with all these Goths on his doorstep, having destroyed his religious places. And these Huskarls, uncontested, or almost uncontested, are going to absolutely shred through this economy here. And I honestly don't see how Nagus can hold this.
Yeah, I agree. He's only got 3 barracks up, so his champion production is very slow.
Yeah, not to mention he accidentally misclicked on Spearman, and so he's making some of them.
Then again, as I call a fight, it obviously goes the other way than I call it, so he actually won that
called
fight.
that. Wow. Alright then.
Casters.
Yeah, we're procasters.
If he can stabilize this, then his position is not too bad, but he is down on villages. So.
But somehow he managed to get some walls up.
His current advantage is that he has the champion upgrade, which means that he's got a fairly effective counter against Mothump. Mothump's advantage is he's got greater economy and also more blacksmith upgrades.
Yeah. I mean, Nagus had an advantage in the fact that he had a larger eco before, and he also was faster to imp. But then he kind of couldn't really do anything with it. And now he's actually getting castle dropped, and he has no castles himself to create trebuchets from now.
Yeah, you're right. Castle's going to be very important.
I'm busy right now.
Also, he doesn't have. Oh, he does have a university. I lied. But I don't believe he has the chemistry upgrade yet.
I did not see it come in.
I'll check.
But I wasn't looking either.
No chemistry, so it'll take him a while to get Boombo cannons out. So he could definitely lose the front of his base to these trebs if he's not careful.
Yeah, in fact, the treb's gonna let these Huskarls get straight back in.
And the champions without armor upgrades definitely not going to want to walk under that castle.
Yeah, well, you usually don't when your champion's walking under a castle anyway, but... And one villager trying to repair a castle against a trebuchet and Huskarls, not going to keep it up. He could have denied that castle, I completely agree. However, chose not to. Although,
Yeah,
did he even
notice it going up?
Yeah, I don't think he knew it was going up.
Might have been, I'm not sure.
No, I think it was just outside.
Right. And a very important upgrade coming in from Mothump. He's got Elite Huskarl coming in. So that's really going to make these Huskarls quite a bit better against the champion.
Yeah, I mean, the champions still beat the Elite Huskarls one-on-one, I believe, but when
I'm
you
not
don't
so
have...
sure with the lack of blacksmith upgrades.
Yeah, with the lack of blacksmith upgrades, no, they won't.
I could try to calculate it, but I think it's be fairly even.
Or regardless, the lack of eco from Nagus won't help.
Yes, they're not going to help.
But Nagus definitely has enough resources to make more army and or get more blacksmith techs. But he's going for chemistry.
You're going to want the bombard cannons out, try and deal with the castle.
Yeah, but chemistry takes a long time to come in. I don't know if he can get it in time.
And I just did the quick calculation, and actually the Huskarls are stronger than the champions at the current amount of upgrades. It takes 5 hits for the champion to take out a Huskarl, and 6 hits for a champion to take out a Huskarl at the moment, and 5 for a Huskarl to take out a champion at the moment. He needs one more upgrade, and then his champions will be better. Or we're the same.
Okay.
And if he gets another upgrade after that, I think, well, Blast Furnace does quite a lot. So if he got that, I think it might be even stronger than the Huskars.
Right.
Then again, math on streams, so maybe I'm wrong.
Oh yeah, don't do math on stream, mate. More castles on the front from Mothop. Could have actually put that one a bit further in, I think, but I don't really think it matters right now.
Positive for Nagus, he has cleared out these Huskars, which went into his economy.
Yeah.
He
Mothop
definitely had the numbers for that fight.
Mothop seems to like making a group, sending it in, and then having it die, and then making another group roughly the same size, sending it in, and having it die.
Mm. So wave 2 it looks like it's about to hit fairly soon.
Yeah.
You can call it. I guess we can call those attack groups waves. So
yeah, yeah.
he's gonna.
Oh, he's gonna deny this gold from Nagus.
Yeah.
Actually,
Nagus does still have golds in the back, but they won't last him much longer.
No, they won't.
Huskar's trying to start a bombard cannon. This could be really important if they do manage to do it. And yeah, they're stacking to one bombard cannon.
I don't think they'll get the second one though.
No. Oh, I didn't notice this. Nagus reclaimed all the relics, but again,
Yes,
Monastery's getting taken out in their own.
Oh no. These barbarians just hate these Christians.
And Nagus's last army looks like it might actually lose this fight against the Huskars.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see a GG get called around now. He's only got 2 barracks with 15 champions queued in each of them, so his production is pretty slow at the moment.
Nagus choosing to build 4 barracks right on the front where all of the Huskars are. And
So
I mean, he doesn't really have anywhere else to build them, but it was a bit late. And yeah, GG called by Nagus, changing the score to 2-0 to Mothump.
yeah, so I think the reason Nagus didn't have much success in this game is because he didn't have an idea of a army composition to go into in Imperial.
Yeah, he didn't really seem to know what he wanted to do.
A bit undecided.
Yeah,
Not sure if you want to go through the achievements or not.
I'm not really talking about them, but I'm showing them.
Oh, nice.
They look pretty similar to last game. The only difference being, apart from Imperial, Mothump was faster to feudal and castle this time.
Press the play again button by mistake. What does that do? Okay, apparently it plays the game again.
Oh yeah, that's handy.
I never knew this. So I think Nagus did have a bit of an early advantage with his boom and also getting all the relics, but the forward castles and mangonels from Mothump never got cleared out, and the lack of thinking of what army composition he's going to go into, he kind of steamrolled by Mothump, who he had a good game plan. Even if it maybe wasn't the best unit, he knew what he was going to do. He was going to do 4 Huskars, and it seemed to pay off since Nagus hadn't kind of fully committed to any of the units to counter them.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Mothump, even though he saw his opponent was taking into long-handed swords and the champion line, he's still committed to Huskars. So I think because Mothump had that single-mindedness about going Huskars because I'm Goths, if Nagus had actually just chosen one unit line and stuck with it, even if it was throwing Axeman, he could have won the game.